Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. It's time for the TNA Event Center report. And now here's the man to give you all the total non-stop action and impactful report, Mr. Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Episode 2640 was my last video for tonight, and I haven't made a video all day, but I went on David St. Dennis' stream earlier to do the Patriots Saints live reaction game. Speaking of which, tune in this Tuesday afternoon at 3:30, quarter of 4, around there, between those two times, 3:30 and 3:45 Eastern Time, of course, to tune into the 12th edition of Renegade, the 11th edition of Renegade Shenanigans. I will be addressing a few things, and one of them is why I believe the Patriots victory over the Saints is a big win, and what that means, and what that does mean for the Patriots. So, I will address that because some people don't believe the Patriots win against the Saints is huge. I will explain why I believe that me and David both believe it is, and we'll get to that this Tuesday. So come one, come all. I will try to advertise the channel. I know Jason's done that for me. I want to say thank you for that. So, Renegade Shenanigans, Chapter 11, man. Tune in. And there's going to be some more names I'm going to ban from this channel. So, tune in for that. Right now, and as you know, also programming change. Of course, tomorrow morning, Monday Night Raw will take place because it's in Perth, Australia, on Netflix. But I am not going to be able to view it because I'll be working during that morning. But by the time I get out, it will be already over. But here's what I'm going to do: when I get home, I'm going to see if I can tune in Netflix, watch it, and then I will give my report on it. That means I can get everything done before Bofus, because I do have the tic-tac-toe games to do and Monday Night Raw. Hey, whatever. So that's pretty good. So let's talk about TNA Bound for Glory. It happened today. It just happened not too long ago. So we're talking about this in as you know, the beautiful people, Angelina Love and Velvet Sky, who decided to put a paper bag on Tommy Dreamer's head, which is pretty funny. And they were inducted, and Mickie James was also inducted by Lisa Marie Varon, formerly known as Tara in TNA, Victoria in the WWE. In fact, we had the honor of interviewing Lisa Marie Varon back in Anniversary 3, where, controversy happened there, but we're not going to get into that. But however, so they were both inducted into the TNA Hall of Fame, Mickie James and the beautiful people. The personal concierge introduced the Elegance brand. Of course, it's in Lowell, Massachusetts. So, you take pot shots at the Boston and go say, oh, this should be in New York, and everybody's booing them. And the Knockouts tag and by Elegance accompanied them to the ring since she gave up relinquished her title at Victory Road. And the Inspiration defending it against the Elegance brand, and the Inspiration ended up retaining the title. Meanwhile, the TNA International title is on the line. Frankie Kazarian defending it against Steve Macklin, and Steve Macklin's mom was at ringside for the matchup. And of course, Frankie Kazarian decided to talk some smack during the matchup to his mom, Steve Macklin's mom, and Annie, here's her name, and he flipped them off, and I was like, yay! It was great. It was great. No mess with Marine's mama. And I thought, she smacked him a few. But then, Steve Macklin ended up taking advantage of that situation, ends up winning the title for a second time. So he's a two-time international champion. Steve Macklin, congratulations. And what a way to come out for Steve Macklin. After they did the national anthem, they stood, and Steve Macklin entered the ring, and he went back and forth and giving shout-outs to the Marine recruitment in Boston. So I thought that was really super cool because he was a Marine, machine gunner, I believe. for the Marines. I thought it was super cool. Super cool deal as always. And then the lovely Gabby Laspisa, who will be filling in for Gia Miller because she has her match against Tessa Blanchard coming up. Interview Trick Williams and his lawyer. He doesn't look like a lawyer. He looks like some kind of punk kid who probably got bribed by Trick Williams to make the pose as a lawyer. I think the kid's a fraud, if you ask me. Anyways, and Trick Williams said he's going to beat Mike Santana within an inch of his life. And then Gia Miller went one-on-one with Tessa Blanchard, whom in her latest YouTube video, Tessa Blanchard said she had a boob job. I'll believe it when I see it. But she did. You know, never mind. I'm sorry, Tessa, but oh, good Lord. Anyways, Tessa looks like she may be beautiful, but she could beat you up too. So, but then Jody Threat was in the corner of Gia Miller while Victoria Crawford, of course, being her crazy self. Now, Tom Hennepin should know a thing or two about that. And Victoria Crawford decided to get involved, but the referee ejects her from ringside, but then security tried to get her out, but then Jody Threat did a little dive on the rope, taking out everybody. And then when Victoria Crawford got out, Jody Threat chased her to the back. And during the matchup, while the referee wasn't looking, Gia Miller was about to go for a powerbomb, and then all of a sudden, Tessa Blanchard put out a roll of quarters, knocking her in the head, and ends up winning the matchup. Just like her dad did to Dusty Rhodes, I think, back in Starrcade 83, I think it was. All I know is, Tully Blanchard and Dusty Rhodes, man, but the apple don't fall from the tree, so I think Gia Miller would have more motivation to kick her butt again, if need be. Now, so, and then they have the Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. Let me bust out. I'm gonna bust out a couple of papers for this one. Okay, because I have let's see. I gotta write something down here. All right, so it's like the Royal Rumble, but the only difference is the final two people go at it one-on-one. So, Lei Ying Lee started off, then it was Mara Sade, and the Nemeth brothers come in. Ryan at 3, Nick at 4, Cedric Alexander came in 5. And then First Class came in. Rich Swann made his return. Came in number 6. AJ Francis came in number 7. And then half of Sinner and Saint, a.k.a. Travis Williams, came in at number 8. BDE came in at number 9. Now, the Rascals are as one, so they're the 10th entrant in there. Danny Luna was entrant number 11. Eric Young came in at number 12. Jake Sutton at number 13. Rosemary at number 14. Hometown Man, number 15. Zach Clayton of the FBI made his return to TNA, count number 16. Jody Threat was going to come in, but then Frankie Kazarian took her out before she even hit the ring, and Kazarian took her spot. Santino Marella came in at number 8. Matt Cardona came in at number 19, and then Mance Warner came in at number 20, obviously. Marsha Day was eliminated first, then goes Lei Ying Lee, Rich Swann, AJ Francis, Travis Williams, BDE, Trey Miguel, Cedric Alexander, Jake Sutton, Rosemary, Danny Luna was the 11th person eliminated. Morella came in at number eliminated the 12th person. Zach Clayton number 13. Myron Reed and Zachary Wentz 14, 15. Hometown Man number 16. Eric Young came in number 17. Got eliminated. The 17 person eliminated. Mance Warner got eliminated. Then Ryan Nemeth and then Matt Cardona got eliminated, and it was down because the Rascals came in a little extra. And then there was between Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth, and both pinned each other. And the referees did not know who won. So Santino says they're both winners. So this is going to be an interesting situation. Who's going to call it? Do that first. So, but then the Knockouts World Title was on the line. Also, Warner and Delaney got involved attacking Matt Cardona during that matchup after they were eliminated. The world title, the Knockouts World Title on the line, Kaylani Joyner versus Indy Hotwell. Kaylani Joyner does retain the title. The Nevers were celebrating that Nick winning it, and then Kazarian interrupts and saying, "You never know, I'll cash it in tonight in the world title match." Hardcore War, the System versus Order 4. Fun part about the System is that Eddie Edwards came in with his wife and daughter, of course, and they had Wally the Green Monster made his first wrestling appearance in TNA, which first wrestling appearance ever, which I thought was so super cool, And my homegirl Alicia, born in Massachusetts, grew up in New Bedford, Mass. I love it, and of course Eddie Edwards grew up in Massachusetts. And he started off against Jason Hodgson. John Schuyler came in with the man advantage because by virtue of Mustafa Ali's victory over Moose at Victory Road. And John, after that, the Great Hands were double teaming Eddie Edwards until JDC, the Westbrook Wild Man, as I like to call him, because he's from Westbrook, Maine, but he did train in Boston, was another one that came in. And then Tasha Steeles came in wearing a Yankee jersey in Lowell, Massachusetts. You don't do that, girl. Alicia Edwards came in with Kendra the kendo stick. And then Special Agent Zero, who power bombed Alicia on some thumbtacks. But then Brian Myers came in, then Mustafa Ali came in, and then Moose came in. But the winners of the matchup is none other than the System. So the System ended up winning the matchup. Trust the System. Order 4, you guys suck. Anyways. Then it was the X Division title match between Leon Slater and Javon Evans. This match was so good. So good. It was about to steal the show. But then it was the 20-minute time limit was up. Fans did not like that decision. So Santino Morel comes out. You know what? Give him 5 more minutes. During the 5 minutes in the matchup, they were doing well until the lights went out and Dark State ends up ruining it. Because they're a bunch of crybabies and they don't know how to be good. They're poor sports. Crybaby Dark State ended up, those crybabies from Dark State ended up attacking the match, throwing it out. No contest in that matchup. No contest. And then Chris Bay returned to TNA to announce the attendance for Bound for Glory, 7,794 people. Then there was the NXT TNA Tag House Online in the tables matchup, one final tables match between the Hardys and Team 3D. And then another Massachusetts native who grew up in New England, Brother Run, a.k.a. Spike Dudley, the head teacher of the wrestling school for Top Rope Promotions. I forget the name of it. I think it's called the Lockup, I do believe. I do believe it's called the Lockup. Any of you local folks, remind me of that, please. Ended up reuniting with them and then handed the Team 3D their Dudley glasses. But in the end, heck of a matchup between the two. The Hardys did retain, and Team 3D did something usually when you take off your boots and you're right tired, you set them in the middle of the ring. They handed the Hardys their boots, which is a show of class and respect. And so Team 3D is done. They're in the Hall of Fame for both TNA and WWE. They've done it all. Team 3D, be proud. Be proud. I'm proud. Be proud. Thank you, Team 3D. Oh, my brother, testify. And believe me, the Dudleys will always be a legendary tag team, no matter what. Then there was the world title. Trick Williams versus Mike Santana. Conan accompanied Santana to the ring while Trick Williams has his stupid punk lawyer, and I don't think that's actually his lawyer. So it's some punk kid that wants some cash and was willing to do anything to get it. Including resort to some dirty tactics and got involved, but then Santana gets him. Alright, gets him to spin the block. And finally, Santana has finally won the title. But Nick Nemeth comes out with the Call Your Shot Gauntlet trophy, and he's going to cash it in. I'm like, you're not going to ruin this beautiful moment. I mean, his daughter, when Mike Santana made the pin, his daughter was in tears crying. We're happy, In fact, during the match, though, Trick Williams was talking smack to Mike Santana's daughter, Ariana. You know what Ariana did? Slapped him across the face, as it should. I say that you don't mess with a man's daughter. Let me tell you, you don't mess with any kids. You don't mess with family, and you're going to get your butt kicked, son. And that's what happened. So it cost Trick Williams the match of Mike Santana's the world champion. But hold on. Like I said, Nick never tried to call him. But then as he was meant to attempt it, lights went out, and you hear, ding, Elijah, a.k.a. Elias, El Kabong with his guitar. But then Frankie Kazarian came in and he wants to cash it in and try to get at him. But he says, you got to get the trophy. But it takes too long to get the trophy. And he knows that Elijah is there. And I thought, and then, but he tried to go after Santana. Santana didn't spin a block, knocking him out. Outside the ring goes Kazarian. And the TNA president, Carlos Silva, finally handed him the championship. And victory. That's right, victory. Goes to Carlos Santana. His daughter came in the ring. He presented the title to his daughter, put some on his shoulders because she had tears in her eyes. It was a beautiful moment to see. And then finally, the TNA title is back in the hands of a TNA wrestler in Mike Santana. Mike Santana's worked hard for this. He's earned it. I don't care if he's from Bronx, New York, even though he won the title in Boston, in Massachusetts. Fans showed him some love, and they know how hard he worked for this. So, Mike Santana, congratulations. The title is yours. Defend it with honor and pride. So, that is it for today's episode, or tonight's episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. Remember, Monday Night Raw is coming on at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning because it's in Perth, Australia. Here in the States, it'll be tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. But, however, like I said, I will watch it when I get home from work because it'll be over by the time I come home. I'll probably pick up something on the way. Probably pick up some Taco Bell. I wanted to get some Taco Bell. Then afterwards, then home and everything else, and I will watch, take everything down. I will do the video after I do my tic-tac-toe video so I can get all that done. That way before both of us. I will warn everyone, though, if you have not seen that Monday Night Raw, and you decide to watch it later on, please do not watch my video of the Raw Event Center reaction until after you watch your show. You watch it and find out, okay? So, that's it for today's episode. I'll see you guys later. Have a good night, everybody. This is my last video for tonight, because I got work tomorrow, unfortunately, on a work night. So, I will see you guys later. Until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, please take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.